Morning, everybody. Blessings to you on this Thursday morning. So, look, I have some verses to share with you this morning. And again, it's about prayer. Now, the verses that I'm going to share with you this morning will open up a lot of different questions, a lot of different what ifs. You typical Baptists who have listened to us typical Baptist preachers for all your lives will immediately begin to sort of try to explain some of these verses away. I hope that you won't do that. Again, it's our preacher, the preacher's fault, because we have sort of preached away some of these promises, this promise about prayer. I want you to pretend you're reading this for the first time. I want you to pretend that you're opening up. I want you to pretend that you're there and you're hearing Jesus. And these all come from the Gospel of John and from chapters 14, 15, and 16. And what happens is, in chapter 14, Jesus begins a discourse with his disciples. He has just told them that he's about to leave them, and they are very anxious about that. And so he is within days of being crucified. And these are the last things that he is saying to his disciples. So obviously packed in to these chapters, it's full of everything that Jesus wants to tell them at the last minute, everything that he needs to drive home, everything that he wants them to remember. And there's one thing that's said in several different places and in kind of different ways, but not exactly, that actually blows my mind. It is actually the biggest promise from God that you could ever imagine. And what I want you to do is I want you to believe in prayer. I want you to believe in the God who answers prayer. So in John chapter 14, when he's pouring out and he's starting to drive home to his disciples everything that he wants them to remember, in verses 13 and 14, he says, "Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it." Don't explain it away. Don't let me preach it away. Just listen to the words of Jesus. He has told them to pray, and to pray in his name, and to ask for in his name, and that he will answer. And he can't let it go. A little bit later in chapter 15, verses 7 and 8, he says, "If you abide in me, my words abide in you, you will ask what you desire, and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit." He's just finished talking to them about staying connected to him. And he says, if you continue to live in me and I live in you, you ask whatever you want, and I'm going to do it. He can't let it go. Just a few verses down in verse 16, "You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you." He's driving this home. You need to pray. You need to talk to the Father. You need to ask him for things in my name, and I'm going to do it. But listen, Jesus doesn't stop there. Over in chapter 16, verses 23 and 24, he says, "In that day you will ask me nothing. Most assuredly I say to you, whatever you ask the Father in my name, he will give you. Until now you have asked nothing in my name. Ask and you will receive, that your joy may be full." Right? You would think he's done, but he's not. Just a couple verses later, "In that day you will ask in my name, and I do not say that I shall pray the Father for you, for the Father himself loves you, because you have loved me and believe that I have come forth from God." Jesus drives home to his disciples, and in essence to you and me, pray. Pray to the Father, ask for what you will, and because you're his children, he is going to answer your prayer. Let me tell you something. One time, I was lost at the time. I'm going to be honest with you. I was lost, and I opened the Bible, and I read this verse about asking in my name, and ask and believing, in faith was the verse. It was actually from Mark, and it will be done for you. And I prayed a very specific prayer, and it was answered exactly as I prayed it within 24 hours, and at that time I was lost. Now I am his child. And this is such a huge promise. You have the God of the universe, the creator of the universe, the creator and sustainer of all things, the one who has all power and all sovereignty over everything that exists and lives and moves. And he is telling you, ask whatever you want in his name, and he's going to do it. There is no greater promise that has ever been given by anyone to you and to me than that right there. Ephesians 3:20 says that he is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or even think, according to the power that is at work in us, the power that works more than we can imagine. God is able to do more. Again, that opens up a lot of questions, I know. Just take Jesus as his word. If he is who he is and he said what he said, just believe him. And in believing him, get out there and pray today. Love you guys. God bless you. Bye.